Tally. Well, yesterday shares of HESS grew up rather sharply, in part because of the company's announcement of a number of different things it was doing involving its refining assets. Interestingly, it didn't react as much as one might have anticipated, given today's move from what we learned was likely to be a move by Elliott Associates on the company from an activist perspective. But this morning, we got that move, and boy, did we ever get it. The stock itself moving up sharply. Let me quickly give you some of the particulars here. This name has been out there in the activist community as a potential target for quite some time. But a lot of the activists that I've spoken to have backed away from it. Well, in part, you may not have wanted to make a significant commitment of capital, in this case over $800 million by Elliott, their largest single initial investment, equity investment they've ever made in a company of this type or in this situation. As well, there were always questions about John HESS. He owns 10% of the company. The institutions have always kind of seemed to like him. He's a very, people who know him and who I know well speak very highly of him. Very well connected socially in a number of things, and people saying, hey, you know what, it could be a really ugly battle. That being said, Elliott has embarked on that battle this morning, saying that years and years of underperformance, shareholders deserve better. The 90% of those shareholders who aren't, Mr. HESS at least, they are coming with 5 directors to challenge on the board. The annual meeting typically takes place in mid-May, so a record date you'd assume will be sometime in mid-March. We'll see. None of those dates have been set as yet, but this is going to be a significant battle. There is the slate that Elliott is proposing, and on it you've got a number of directors, of course, you might expect are fairly well heeled. Whether it's a Harvey Golub, who does not have experience in this area, he's a little bit, well, he's out there a little bit, is Harvey these days. But you've got these guys who are also in the industry and have large experience on it. And Elliott, for its part, in a very long letter this morning, simply saying, hey, you know what? By seeking to restructure a minor business rather than address the larger problem, Jim, HESS is highlighting its inability on its own to fix a 17-year history of unrelenting underperformance. Take a look at some of the comps we'll give you as I say that. They say John HESS himself acknowledges you can't judge us on a one-year basis. You have to do it over the long term. And they say it has been a dreadful long-term performance that speaks for itself. They want to do a lot of different things at the company, including perhaps getting rid of the Bakken, where they say they've spent an enormous amount of money with nothing to show for it.
Bakken, when you talk to big oil companies that are in the Bakken, they're always shocked. Amrod HESS, the predecessor, had the best acreage in the Bakken. Never really did anything in it. These guys want to spin off Bakken, Utica, and Eagle Ford. All that really would do is highlight how much this company's really worth and draw a buyer, a Total, a Royal Dutch, even an Exxon. This company, they are really, I think, putting it up for sale. Now, this Ultra CFO, Marshall Smith, I know him, he is terrific. The COO of Anadarko that they would be adding, really amazing. These are first-rate oil guys and natural gas guys. And I think you would basically say, look, we'd like them to be in, but more important, we want Total to buy this company.
An interesting battle that is taking shape. Did we show the value creation from exploration slide? I'm not sure if we saw it or not, because that goes to the heart to a certain extent of what at least its critics are saying, Jim, that they simply have made investments that have not paid off to the extent. And the right side is losses. So there you have sort of a...
on Mad Money, we've been highlighting, we thought that we could get to a much higher price here. They've got tremendous assets overseas, too. This is the most undermanaged major oil company in the world.
And they make money from selling the little trucks. Who knew?
There you go.
So they got that,
you mean the toys?
Correct.
Yes.
The toys.
And Hasbro's been hurting. There's a way to be able to maybe... right? Hasbro's been...
Maybe it's all about the little toy trucks. You never know.
Hasbro turned down
your Paul Singer didn't get them as a child. Maybe it just comes back to that. It's Rosebud.
I love the fact that they gave you a first day to get it. Right? Wasn't that amazing yesterday?
They did. You had a 10%.
$3.
I know. You had an opportunity to create 8.6%.
We've been saying worth a lot more, and it's getting there.
All right. We will have more on Apple's 100.